Hey guys, welcome back to the Parker's Podcast. I'm Rose and this is Francel.
What's up, everybody?
Again, I want to give a shout out to Christian Young with the Lab podcast studio. Anyways, we were just talking about something crazy that happened last night.
Oh man, so there's this viral video going around. I don't know if my producer can put a link to this or find a way to add it, but man, I'm telling you what, this dude gets drunk. I think he's 23 years old, gets drunk with his buddies last night, leaves the restaurant or the bar, goes behind it, and supposedly tries to go pee, and then is attacked randomly by an alligator. Have you ever seen an alligator even approach a person outside of water?
So this is the problem. When we first moved here, I had the same thought about every other American. When you move to Florida, you got to watch out for all the alligators. It's really not like that. Since we've lived here going on, 17 years. Yeah, 16, 17 years. And it's not like that. Our kids have grown up and there's times, because I was the freaked out parent when they were little. I didn't want them out in the canals, but I've, gone through their phones on different instances, and I see videos of Seth splashing around in murky water that you can't see. And I'm like, I know that water, and I know there's alligators in there, but they're not attacking. That's not realistic. The old Florida boys, they're swinging from rope swings, falling in the water all the time. So for an alligator to actually attack a person, they had to have been provoked.
You got to be doing something. So the story is, this guy was standing by the edge of the water. He peed. The alligator attacked him, grabbed his arm, hit a death roll, and snatched his arm off. And in the video, all you see is his whole forearm is gone. You see the clean bone socket, and there's not even any blood anymore. And you see his buddies dragging him up on the bank. So from my perspective, every time I've ever seen an alligator on the bank, I've tried to get close to get a close photo. They take off. They dive in the water. They take off to run away. But the part that trips me out the most is if you're standing there peeing, how in the heck is that alligator going to grab your arm?
Well, okay, so I did not see the video. So I have a different perspective, of course, on this. But alligators can jump.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen videos of them climbing fences.
I wouldn't call it jumping.
They lunge.
Yeah, which would still be more of a lateral, not a vertical.
They can, though.
Okay.
So, that, I don't know. He could have been back there, but just as we were just talking about a few minutes ago, my thought on the video, which I have not seen, is if you're going outside to pee, why are you taking people to go record it? So if you got the camera crew behind you, obviously you're not out there just to pee.
My personal opinion, after I seen the video and I seen the injury, my personal belief is this dude was drunk. Hey man, look at this alligator. And he gets on all fours and he crawls towards the alligator. And one of his buddies is like, I bet you don't smack him on the nose. Say I won't. You won't. And there he goes to swat that alligator. Yerp! Arm is gone. And they're like, no, we just left the bar and he had to go pee. That pond is 100 yards behind the bar. So you just randomly let your buddy, who is drunk and intoxicated, walk 100 yards to go pee, and you just so happen to fall. Man, listen.
So realistically, the camera crew this was done at a bar, so more than likely his camera crew behind the scenes was probably also drunk.
Oh,
and they probably all fell into this is going to be funny.
No. Because look at this. At 100 yards, if me and Christian were hanging out and he said, hey man, I got to go pee. All right, I'm not following him to go make sure that he pees properly. Hey man, how's it hanging? Is the stream straight, or why is it so splattery like that? No, you need to drink more water. Heck no. He's handling his business. I'm not following him, let alone 100 yards.
I mean, you might be ready. Bring the camera out there. Be like, hey, Christian, I got it on camera.
No.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think the whole thing was stupid. So realistically, yeah, it sucks for the guy. If he's been in Florida any period of time,
from a medical standpoint, I'm going to say this, that his buddy with the cigarette saved his life. Because even though he may have been intoxicated, he was like, yo, he needs a tourniquet. Now, this is the funniest part. And none of it, let me back up. It's not funny that the dude lost his arm. There is humor in the procedures of events that were taking place after the injury took place, right? So his buddy's like, yo, he needs a tourniquet. They get a belt, they tie a tourniquet. But as he's doing
How long is this video?
It might be a minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes.
So during this whole time, you see a camera guy. Is he running after the guy? What, was he already out in the water?
The footage starts with them dragging him up the bank with his nub in the dirt. Like, he's like passed out, nub in the dirt, and they're dragging him by his good arm. And I'm just like, oh man, this, ooh.
You just made me think of that movie. You always reference it. I don't even know what movie it is, but you always make that comment. Something about that. Don't get my good arm or my good hand or something.
Take my strong arm.
Oh, my strong arm. That's it. That's what.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of as you're saying. Literally. They're pulling him out with his good arm.
But the crazy part is, it's like it's to here. So this nub is like dragging in the dirt. So his buddy gets the tourniquet, ties the tourniquet on, but he has a brand new cigarette lit hanging out of his mouth. And you know how I can't even, like, the cigarette is like this far out of his mouth, and he's talking. And as he's talking, the cigarette is flicking like this, and the ash is going onto the nub. And I'm just like, okay, great job with the tourniquet, bro, but you really shouldn't be ashing in this man's open wound. You know, it's like, it just trips me out. Like,
well, I'm pretty sure we can get the link to the video up, unless it gets taken down for.
Oh yeah, it's something we got to jump on ASAP because like people need to see. Oh, never mind. This is a Florida man scenario. It's gonna make national news.
I'm sure it will.
Today's headline is Florida man attacked by alligator gets drug in by nub. You know.
Do you know what's crazy though? When I think of the Florida man, I think of Le'Veon.
Yeah.
Some of the things he does, because I'm thinking, just recently we were at the office and he calls me and he's like, he always has, we call it his Silverado voice. He has his little country twang that he picked up ever since he got a Silverado. So
he didn't pick it up. He created it himself because it's not even like a real country accent.
I know, because we don't live in the country.
But nobody sounds like him.
He calls it his Chevy.
Time out. It reminds me of off-brand Frosted Flakes. It's a hint of country, but it just ain't country.
Well, now he has cowboy boots, so he's excited about that. But he's like, my Chevy Silverado, but it's the way that he says it. He'll have to come in one day and say it on camera so you guys can hear it. It's hilarious. But he comes in, he calls me one day and he's like, "Hey, mama." And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, is Seth there at the office with you? And I'm like, "Yeah, actually he is. What do you need?" And he's like, "Well, I want to go down to the pond that's back where our office is. We've got several little ponds back there. And there's constantly alligators in there," which is another reason why, like, this whole story, it just doesn't make sense. The way that from how they're saying it happen. Yeah. Because we are around alligators on a daily basis. But anyways, so him and Seth wanted to go down to the pond that's, the furthest away from our office because we had seen the alligator days prior, and they wanted to go catch it. Not catch it, but he wanted to wrestle the alligator like you wrestled a bear. And I told him, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. But of course they don't listen and they go out.
Hey, listen, at 19, legally, he's an adult.
Oh, I know. I told him.
And the responsibility falls on him because he no longer lives at home with us.
I know. And so Seth was going as the cameraman, which leads to the whole reason I'm saying this. Seth went as the cameraman, and we have video of him going in the whatever those water tunnel water pipe things are.
The covert.
And there's 2 baby alligators while he's there, and I'm like, you're so stupid. If there's baby alligators, obviously there's a mom alligator, and that mom is going to be crazy. But it's the same scenario that he is the Florida man.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about us getting that phone call at like midnight. Hey, can Seth come over? I got a baby raccoon in my apartment. Like,
that just happened. You're right. Saturday night, he
why
calls.
do you have a baby raccoon in your apartment?
He calls me at like 11 o'clock or I don't
thought
even know what
it was
time.
midnight.
It might have been. It was late. I was already in bed sleep. And so he
You were
calls. I'm just saying. We were in bed. And he calls and he's like, Mom, where's Seth? And I'm like, he's sleeping. It's late. And he's like, I got a baby raccoon. I need him to come pick up the raccoon. I'm like, what? And sure enough, he's got a darn baby raccoon at his house. Apparently the mom was killed or something.
Oh.
So he's trying to rehab it and release it back into the wild. But
Well, I believe the wild can take care of the wild. Just let it go.
mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a baby. He said it's like a teenager. So that means
I seen a video of it. It's little. And it is cute.
it's not coming to the house.
I know.
All right. As long as we're in agreement, like, yo, I don't want any more animals. I got Psycho 1 and Psycho 2, them stupid cats that you got.
Mm-hmm.
The one looks inbred. Like his mom is his sister and his auntie. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy stuff. It got ugliest looking cat face. Like just
I know. Big eyeballs.
big eye, like
Little tiny head and then huge eyeballs.
Eyeballs, and then the mouth. It's like he's like, you know what it reminds me of? Them worm things off of Little Mermaid. That's what his face looks like.
Those worm things were other mermaids. They turned
into wormy things,
Ursula
so they were no
turned them
longer
in-
mermaids.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, but the giant eyes, like the face goes right underneath the eyes, and then it's a mouth, and then that's it. There's no cheeks. There's no actual other.
I'm gonna send the image in so we can flash it on the screen,
And
you guys can see what we're talking about.
This is Christian's gonna put up there. How do I say this without being whatever? Never. It's so hard to talk freely. I want to say retarded or not, but I can't. I know that's like politically incorrect. But this is the part. This is what trips me out, right? If I say retarded and people get offended, well, why are you offended because I use the word retarded? Well, they're not retarded. Okay, well then it doesn't apply to you. So then why are you offended? What? Because you don't like the word retard? Retard is an actual word that means mentally hindered. And you objecting to me using the word retard is retarded in itself because you're mentally hindered.
So I don't think the cat is retarded.
Oh, he is. Or she is.
It's
She
a
is
girl.
straight psychotic. It
Okay.
has brain damage.
No.
Yes. Oh my God.
Just because it looks that way doesn't mean it has it.
Its brain is not fully developed. It's not.
I guess.
It's not. It's not.
It does have a weird shaped head.
Dude,
so,
and I'm telling you, the way it takes off and it runs into walls, like
no,
if it was a child, it would have rode the short bus.
what's it? The zoomies. They call it the zoomies.
Yeah, I call
And
it.
I didn't realize cats get the zoomies, but they get the zoomies too apparently. And this cat just
Hey,
runs psycho.
One thing about the zoomies, it's cool if you get the zoomies, but don't run head first into a wall. Don't.
Maybe we should get the vision checked. Maybe it's just a little blind.
Yeah, because it has more eyeballs than it does brain. I can see everything, but I can't think to move. Bow.
The cat is a little retarded, I guess.
Thank you. And you just co-sign using the use of the word retarded, so I'm not by myself.
It is what it is.
Anyways, I think them cats need to be let go in the wild.
You were just calling the black one just before we even came here. Hey, pretty kitty. I should have recorded it. Because as soon as you said it, I was like, oh,
No
see,
evidence.
he talks all this trash about
No
these
evidence.
cats, but he actually likes
Well,
the black
no,
one.
Once it got fixed, it became a little less psycho.
No, it didn't. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
No, it's not. This is what it is. Like, it's becoming domesticated. You got 2 feral cats.
They were not feral.
They were feral as a mug. Dude said he found them on the side. The
No,
mama
he
was
found
pregnant.
the mom.
Okay?
Okay,
Who
but
was
the
pregnant.
Yeah, but the cats.
Just because they're born in a house doesn't mean that they're not feral.
And I guess it doesn't mean that they weren't Uncle Jimmy's brother's cousin as the daddy. I mean, I guess,
You got some Maury Povich going on with your cats. Like what the
bringing
heck?
another cat. Uncle Jimmy, you are not the father.
But you are the uncle and the
brother.
cousin.
Oh, gosh.
Crazy. But back to this dude with this alligator. Yo, man, if anyone, I know the dude's name, but I'm not gonna put the dude's name out there. But I'm like, yo, maybe we need to get this dude on the show.
Oh my gosh, that would be funny.
We're opening up like, yo, if you can get in contact with this dude, we get him on the show to get his side of the story and just get the breakdown of what actually happened. And then we could get like a play-by-play. Hey man, yeah, I was trying to pee in the water and then this happened, and do a side-by. Man, our producer probably could do a side-by-side with his video and him giving us commentary on what he was thinking, what he had to drink before the situation.
Well, I'll see if I can get in contact with him.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure I can find a way to
it's probably
track
gonna
him
have
down.
to be after surgery.
I'm assuming because this happened yesterday that he's probably in surgery right now.
But this is the part that trips me out, okay? In the video, you see the bone socket that connects to this. So this part has the U shape, and then this part has the ball, right? You see the ball, there's no meat, so there's no bicep muscle anymore. I said they're going to have to chop it all the way up here, and if there's any tissue left, or he's going to be flush to the shoulder and have no appendage on this side at all.
Well, I was just thinking about when you're saying, talking about the surgery. I was like, well, if it's right at the socket anyways, does he really need surgery? They just close that baby up and sew it closed.
Nah, you would still have to like cut it flush. You could, man. Hold on. We need to pray that this dude survives, because the bacteria in an alligator's mouth, the risk of infection in this type of injury, in this scenario, is through the roof.
True.
Through the roof. So it's like, he will make it. I'm not gonna speak death over anyone. He's gonna survive.
I wasn't even thinking death was an option. So
because as I'm thinking about the amount of like bacteria in an alligator's mouth, just touching an alligator and then eating food without washing your hands can really put you in a bad spot.
Well, my thought is, I'm wondering, did Fish and Wildlife come out and get the alligator?
No, pause. You don't. Fish and Wildlife is the reason why the story is the way that it is. Because he may get charged with molesting the wildlife.
True story.
Technically.
Well, hold on. Stop. You have to tell people what that means.
He could get charged with feeding the wildlife.
I don't think.
By hand.
That was so retarded. I can't even.
That's a good dad joke right there.
I cannot even deal with you right now.
He fed him by hand too soon?
Way too soon. I mean, and definitely don't say that if he does come in on the podcast.
He's going to have to develop a sense of humor if he doesn't have one.
I don't know. But just for anyone that doesn't know, it is illegal to touch or molest the alligators here. And by molest, they don't actually mean, like sexually molest. It just means inappropriately touching.
Molest doesn't imply sexual contact until you put sexual in front of it.
I know, but even when we first moved here and we started seeing the signs to not molest the wildlife and especially the alligators, it was humorous.
Like, who's having sex with alligators? Right?
We've heard about.
Pause. No.
I'm just saying. The Florida man?
But the crazy part is, like, you go to jail. What are you in jail for? Oh, molesting the wildlife. What the heck? Like, it's just a weird charge and weird terminology. Mm-hmm. But it is illegal to touch, play, feed, or do any type of interaction with a wild alligator because they are protected.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. Just to think that, like, it probably wasn't even that big of an alligator, to be honest.
I don't know. Awfully big to be able to take the arm off.
A 6-footer can take your arm off. If he clamps down on it and death rolls like that, yeah.
I guess.
Shoot, had it been a 10-footer, he probably would have been drugged in the water.
Didn't you say they had to drug him up out of the water?
Well, listen, if
for him to be able to do a death roll, you would think he was in the water.
That is true. So once again, what you had to go pee and you wade into the water in the dark.
Well, that's why I said we'll just have to reach out to the guy and see if we can't get him in here, because some of this stuff, some of it just doesn't make sense.
That does not make sense, because I'm just like, I don't know, that trips me out. Mm-hmm. But I really want to find out, like, how they do the procedure, what type of cut are they going to do? Are they going to cut the bone? Is it going to be flush to the shoulder?
We don't always have to go back to the medical stuff.
I can't help it. That's the part that intrigues me because man, wait till you see the video with that nub. Like
I don't know if I really want to see it.
There's no blood. There's no blood, and that's crazy that there's no blood. You know, the reason there's no blood is because he was fully in the water. You're right. Yeah, he had to have been fully in the water.
Well, I mean, if the alligator got him and drug him in there.
No. I think he was in the water before the alligator got him.
I don't know. Did it appear his clothes were wet?
Yeah. Oh, his clothes are soppy wet.
Oh, yeah. So he was definitely in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So many unanswered questions.
Yeah, we need answers.
Yeah, don't name them yet. We'll see if we can't get them in here.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like where we live at is big city, but real small town. And this is like tri-city scenario because technically it's like Northport, Port Charlotte, Inglewood. And people in Northport know him. People in Port Charlotte know him. People in Inglewood know him. So somebody in our path has to know him just because everybody knows everybody, even though it's this type of scenario. Like,
well, we'll figure it out. We'll see if we can't get him.
That'd be cool. Our first guest is an alligator victim.
I guess that's the road we're taking. Oh, gosh.
Thought. Like, shoot. It's crazy.
Yep. So we were supposed to be getting back on our timeline.
Oh, but dude, like, this is hot right now.
I know. It's crazy, some of the things you hear. You had a video that you sent to, I always butcher the guy's name. That TikTok guy that you watch.
OMG is Wix?
Yes, I forget what I call him. Swix or something like that. But what was the video that you sent to him trying to see if he would play it on his thing?
Oh, man. So, like, he has only in Florida videos. So I was driving down 776 in Port Charlotte, and this dude is driving in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, like the 90 body style, with the hatch open, with an entire jet ski crammed in the back of it.
Oh, that's right, hanging out the back.
And he's just riding down the road. There's no straps, no nothing. And
it's just tucked in there.
Yeah, I'm like, how in the heck are you getting it out? Because if you wedged it in there tight enough to where you didn't need no strap.
True.
Like, how is it coming out? What are you going to do? Like,
those aren't light, really.
No.
I mean, so how in the world did you even get it up there?
He's going to have to throw it in reverse and slam on the brakes and shoot that thing out the back of his Jeep into the water to unload it.
Some of the things you see down here, I guess.
Hey, well, I'm telling you what. It's always
it's funny though. They always say, only in Florida these things happen, but Florida is like the biggest transient state. So realistically,
transient? You mean like in?
No, transient. Like people are from other states and stuff. So realistically, I want to know: are all these people that are doing all these only in Florida things from Florida, or are they from other states and they just think they can get away with it because it's only in Florida?
So you think they're your cousins from West Virginia? They moved down.
Listen, I don't even know of any family living that actually lives there.
But they're all from there.
I don't think so, specifically.
Your father was born where?
Ohio.
He was born in West Virginia.
No, he wasn't.
That's what Aunt Carol said?
No. I have his birth certificate.
Oh.
I have never known a living relative to live in West Virginia. I don't know why you keep saying that, because you just think it's funny. But I have no family that I'm aware of. Your family has a lot
of West Virginia traits. Let's just put it that way. Look at you. You can't even deny it.
There are some West Virginia traits.
All right. The Appalachia folks. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, hold on. Fun fact about Rose really quick.
I don't know if this is a fun fact.
Fun fact.
Uh-oh.
From the time Rose was roughly 12. No, had it been earlier than 12.
I don't think you would know this.
Maybe 10.
Oh, boy.
To 16.
We didn't know each other then, so this is an assumption. Let me hear.
She used to clog.
Why would you bring this up?
Because clogging is a West Virginia thing.
Not really West Virginia.
Yes, it is.
It's kind of like a river dance.
It's clogging. It's not a river dance. It's not even tap dancing. It's its own Appalachia thing.
Why do you bring that up right now? So it's not. It is like a country form of tap dance.
That originated in West Virginia.
I don't think it originated.
I watched the whole
there.
documentary. I feel like
and
that's
the
difference
false.
between clogging and tap dancing is the number of clickers on the shoes.
Yeah, there's actually more in clogs.
Exactly. And it's traditionally done on a piece of plywood in the backyard.
Hence the river dance.
Hence West Virginia.
No.
Because the river dance is done on stage in Ireland.
So, okay. So a lot of people, even when I was doing it, didn't know I was doing it. And it actually started when I was probably like 8.
Oh, snap. I was really close.
All right. So my dad worked at a welding shop in Ohio. And so my aunt and her daughter, my first cousin, they both worked on school buses. And so anytime it was like, take your kid to work day or whatever, I would always go with them because it wasn't really safe for a kid to go where my dad worked. So me and my aunt, we were really close. Growing up, I went with her, which that'll have to be another day out on, like she used to judge BMX races. So I got to learn how to do that. And I got to judge a bunch of BMX races. But she also, at the VFW, taught clogging.
All right, pause. We're going to have to cut to the next episode, but you got to give them the details.
I'm just going to talk about the clogging.
You got 3 minutes.
I got this.
Okay.
So the clogging is, I don't even know how I got started. I just happened to be with my dad. He went by there one day, and it was funny because it's in the middle of downtown Akron. It was right by North High School.
It's not downtown Akron. It's North Akron.
Oh, whatever, North Akron. Anyways, it was part of the city part. So anyways, we went down there to the VFW, and I go in one time with my dad to visit my aunt for some, I don't even remember why we went there. And I saw her teaching this class, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Of course, it's all older adults, like much older adults. But I thought...
What do you consider much older at that time period?
They were probably in their 50s or 60s.
And you were 8.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Like, look, because it was, to me, it looked like tap dancing. And I wasn't, at that age, I wasn't thinking, oh, it's like classical tap or ballet. It was country music, and it was
connected to your roots.
I guess. Not West Virginia roots. But, I don't know. So she told me that I could come try it out. And so then I, after a couple visits or whatever, classes or whatever, I bought all the way in. I had my own clogs. I was doing it at home. She was sending me home with, at the time, the cassette tapes to play the music so I could learn all the taps and stuff. I was doing it in extra time anytime I went to her house. And so I completely learned how to clog. Now, I will never, I'm making this clear now on TV or on the podcast, that no one will ever see me do it. I do remember some of the steps, but I will not do it. And
why? Are you ashamed of your talent?
I'm just saying that it's not exactly one of those things. Like, obviously you brought this up because you thought it was funny.
No, I brought it up because it's a fun fact.
Okay, but I'm not going to get up and embarrass myself.
You need to do it for the Christmas service at church.
Not happening.
Why not?
I just said I'm not doing it. So that was the fun fact. I've
seen you do it.
I learned clogging. I think you've seen me do a little bit of it. But that's over the course of 20 years. I'm just not going to do it now that you've told the world that I do it or that I know how to do it.
You would make your aunt proud. Look at my protege. She would look down from heaven. Like, dang, she still has it. She's sharing our family heritage with the world right now on the big stage.
It's funny is right now, some of the songs are literally playing in the back of my head, and I'm like, oh, I remember.
Oh my,
yeah.
See, so it's in you.
No,
you bring it out.
No, I'm not bringing it out.
Unleash the clogs.
No. So, anyways, that is all for the fun fact.
Hold on, you want to know what's running through my mind? Is the little wooden shoes.
So mine weren't actually wooden. They don't have to be wooden. That's more like the river dance thing. They look like kind of like tap shoes, but have an extra metal tap on it. But they're not actually, the wooden shoes might have been the original, but that's not what I had to learn in. So,
all right.
Anyways, that's the end of that fun fact.
Nice.
And the end of this episode. So hope to catch you guys all next week on the Parker's podcast. Have a great day.
Peace.